You have now just finished part one of the assignment, and you have your screenshot of your score of how you did. And remember, doesn't matter what score you get, like I say right here, don't stress about your score. I just want to know what you know. That's okay. However you did, it's okay. Now let's move on to part two. In part two, you're going to send me an email. And in that email, you are going to be putting some attachments, and one of your attachments is going to be that screenshot from part one. So first of all, go ahead and make your way to your email like I am right now. And we're going to get started by hitting the compose button. That means to start a new email, and this box will appear. And in the first instruction, it tells you to go to your email and then hit compose. And now you're going to insert my email in the recipients box. So you can go ahead and type it in or copy and paste it like I'm going to do. So Control C. Then I'm going to go to the to box and hit Control V. And now I have Mr. Blake's email, and you're ready to continue on. Once you have done that, you're going to put in the subject. So the subject, I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste this part is Control C, Control V, and then my last name. I'm going to put my name in the subject. Then we're on to part three, which is to include a carbon copy. Now, what's a carbon copy and where is it? Well, first I'm going to click here on the to box, who you're sending the email to. And then on the right-hand side, maybe you've ever noticed this CC and BCC. CC stands for carbon copy. I can add a person to carbon copy. BCC means blind carbon copy. This is what this means. Let's say I'm going to send an email to Mr. Barth. So I start off by addressing an email appropriately, dear Mr. Barth. And then I can say, I am concerned about, let's think about a teacher I'm concerned about, Mr. Dutton. He has been very sad as of late, we'll say. So what happens is I'm sending this email to, let's change this now, and see I have Mr. Barth in my contacts, so it comes up quickly to Mr. Barth. But let's say I also want Mr. Sorensen to know what's going on. Now the email is not directed to Mr. Sorensen. However, I want him to know what's going on, so I'm going to copy him in on this message. So I grab Mr. Sorensen, I put him in, and what happens is he's in on the loop. He knows what's going on. Let's add a few other people to be in on the loop. Let's add Mr. T, Mr. Taylor. There he is. So now they're both going to see my email and know what's going on. But let's say I also want to blind carbon copy somebody. I am going to blind carbon copy Mr. Carlson. So this is what all this means. Mr. Barth gets this email about Mr. Dutton. Mr. Sorensen and Mr. Taylor also see my conversation with Mr. Barth from this email. As well, Mr. Carlson sees the conversation. So what's the difference between these being CC'd and these being BCC'd? Here's the difference. Mr. Sorensen and Mr. Taylor can see that they're both getting this message. They can see also Mr. Barth is getting this message. They can also see that Mr. Carlson's getting this message. Now, Mr. Carlson can only see that he's getting the message. He is blind to everybody else receiving this message. BCCing makes it so an email can be private. In other words, you need to share some information with somebody. You want them to be in on the loop, but you don't want them to also know who else is in on the loop. This is used all the time in the professional world. I use it all the time as a teacher. Maybe I really need to contact a counselor or the principal about a student, and I want the student's parents to know what's going on. So I would CC the student's parents. I would BCC the student's parents so they get a message of what's going on, but they don't see everybody else that's in the loop, maybe, if I didn't want them to notice. Because maybe I'm CCing another teacher and I don't want them to see all the teachers that know about what's going on. Now, that's not an exact scenario, but it's just an example. All right, with that being said, let's get back to the assignment. So you do need to CC a friend and put in their email. Number 4, you are going to start with a dear, like you say I did right there, dear Mr. Barth. Always start an email properly. And then in the first paragraph, you're going to tell me 3 things that I don't know about you. So for instance, let's say this really is to me now. 3 things, and you always have a comma after your introduction. 3 things you don't know about me. All right, what do you guys not know about me? I am cool. I like to play with G.I. Joes, and I am strong. Oh wait, here's a better one. Not bald. All right, how's that sentence look? I get sentences like these all the time, and it's not looking good because we're not using proper grammar and spelling. So make sure you capitalize your I's and capitalize the beginning of sentences to get started. And you don't want to have running sentences. I'm cool, I like to play with, and you should always capitalize titles of things. If you guys even know what a G.I. Joe is. And I am not bald. Good enough for now, but make sure you're capitalizing things using grammar and proper punctuation. All right, number 2. Second paragraph, number 6. In the second paragraph, you are going to tell me a little information about email etiquette and safety tutorials. Give me a summarize of what you learned. So in your paragraph number 2, where are you going to find this information? You are going to scroll down and you are going to click on this link. Inside this link has different sections right here. You're going to go to number 4, email etiquette and safety. Inside of email etiquette and safety, once it loads up, it's going to talk to you about tips for email success. And you're going to click this arrow and go through things and just get a summary of whatever you think, because whatever you get out of this, that's what you're going to take to this second paragraph. All right, once you've given me a second paragraph about what you've learned from this section, you're going to move on to number 7. Number 7 is in the third paragraph. You're going to tell me about using email etiquette in the business world. So the same concept, but now instead of just general and safety tutorial of email, I want to know about business email etiquette. So in my third paragraph, it's going to have business email etiquette. Inside this same link I was in, I'm going to scroll down a little further, and I'm going to find another one of those boxes. And this one's about business email etiquette. And again, I'm going to go through and learn some important things about business etiquette, such as don't use profanity. And always check your recipients who's receiving your messages. And then you're going to give me a summary of that in here in the third paragraph. All right, let's move back to the instructions. Now we're on to instruction number 8. You are going to attach a picture onto your email. So you're going to get on the internet, get on Google, find a picture of something that represents you, or you can attach a picture of you if you like, but I prefer a picture of something that represents you. Save it to your computer, and then once you've saved it to your computer, you're ready to attach it to an email. So to attach any pictures to an email or any type of files, you come to the bottom and find this clipboard. You hit attach files. From there, you can go and find any type of document and then attach it. So those are a lot of personal. Let's say I just wanted to find something of a screenshot I took. So here it is. Let's say this is what you found of something that represents you on the internet. You go ahead and hit open, and then it loads that image into your email. You'll see it turn blue and load up. It usually doesn't take this long as this is taking, but this is a big image. And then once it's done, it's going to show that it's attached. It's good to go. All right. Now that I've attached that, let's go look at our instruction number 9. It says, well, let's continue here in the 4th paragraph also. You need to have a 4th paragraph. Sorry, I don't want to skip ahead. Here's my 4th paragraph. Tell me why you chose that picture. Also, I want to mention that on the bottom, you have these tools like make text larger or whatnot. As you can see, my text isn't all the same, so I'm going to make it all normal and get it all lined up correctly. Do alignment, you can do color, you can mess with everything. So you can look around at that. All right, after you've typed in your 4th paragraph that tells me why you chose that picture, you're now ready for number 9. And in number 9, you're going to make a second attachment. So you're going to go hit the attachment button again, and you're going to go and find the screenshot of that score you had from that email test. So yeah, I told you to save it to your computer because you're going to need it in a bit, and this is the moment when you need it. So you should have 2 attachments. One of an image that represents you that you found on Google that you like, and then another one of your screenshot score of how well you did. Now, if we go back to the instructions, it tells us that after you do that, sign the email with a closing of your name. So I like to put cordially, or you can put sincerely, whatever you like, but you always want to make a new sentence. I type in cordially, then I put a comma, then I do another sentence and I type in my name. That's how you should have yours as well. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and send it.